This is the second tutorial of TRUSS problem. So if you miss the first tutorial, please see my video of TRUSS 1. So let's go tutorial 2. This is I define this TRUSS C, and I will define in here the transformation matrix. I mean, transformation matrix is mainly needed for if your bar is like some angle, so you need some cos theta, sin theta, I mean angle. So I define this transformation matrix C. This will give cos theta minus sin theta 0 0, and it depends on the your bar arrangement. I mean, like that, you have to split it, cos theta and sin theta, and you can have this transformation matrix details in the introduction of MATLAB and Abqus tutorial book. If you need this book, give me an email. So go there. We have to define theta. What is theta? So theta depends on the some coordinate, and we define number one. Node number one connect with uh, and this I means it I define in here. I comes from here, number of element. See here, what is I? So I gives you 1 2 3. I mean how uh, I will move according to the number of element. If you have the number of element, for example 5, then I will give you 1 2 3 4 5, like that. So go there, this is the I, and like that if I equals to 1, then it will be a 1 1, node number 1, and node number 2 will be 1 2. That means this first element number 1 node, first element number 2 node. Similarly, if you take the bar number 2, this in the bar number 2, first node in here and second node in here, every element have 2 node. For the 3 bar number, this has a uh, first node and this has a second node. So this is the node 1 and node 2, and uh, I define this node 1 as x1. So node 1 1, it will gives me some coordinate, like that. Okay, I didn't define the node 1, so it will give me the x1 coordinate, and y1 give me the node 1, node number 1, and it will give me the y1 coordinate, and similarly x2 and y2. This is for node number 1, and this is for node number 2. And so I make a loop in here. If x2 minus x1 equals 0, that means it is first, and y2 greater than y, there is theta equals to 2 tan theta a. So this is inverse tan. When you search in here like that, this is a tan means inverse tangent, result in radian. Okay, and this theta depends on y2 minus, I mean this is vertical, this is horizontal. We know that tan theta equals to vertical divided by horizontal, and it will give the theta, and this theta will input in here. So, and you see here each function I define global, and this is the, I mean when you define this global and this is geom or connect, that means you can use this function on the other file. I mean you use this function in the other related file, right? So I makes this function globally so that you can use this function in other file. So let's go other file. uh, this called steering vector steering vector for element I, and steering vector means here this is called steering vector, and this is depend on the node number 1, node number 2, node number, like that. 0 0 0 0 means its coordinate number node is x and y coordinate is 0, but its y coordinate 0 but x coordinate has something. Oh, sorry, it is it's depend on the number of degree of freedom. There is no number of degree of freedom, I mean it is restrained 0, and this is restrained. So I put in here x and y restraint. I say here when restraint degree of freedom assign 0, but if degree of freedom is assigned 1, so I assign in 1. This is the steering vector. So for element 1 the vector look like this. Okay, so I define the steering vector in here. I write this vector. I write this vector in here in the MATLAB language. This is so I call this uh, TRUSS/z, and you already see here I define a variable in here I. So I mainly connect with these loops. One, I mean when I goes to 1, these will there means I goes to 1. When here I goes to, here I goes to 2, that means there will show I will be 2. So it will round and connect all other file. And let's go other file in here. This is called KL. This function element stiffness matrix is this matrix is called element stiffness matrix, and I make this globally global geometry. So I define in here, and there is connection vector. Uh, this is similarly, and I define the length uh, this length this length it is x2 minus x1 and y2 minus y1 whole square root of, and properties. So I make this matrix here E divided by L. I talk about it like that. This is A divided by L something this. So this is K1 matrix K1 matrix, and trust one result. So I when you see the result in here, I want to show this result. So you see here I arrange this printing model data and something slash at, so mainly this slash come from here, and this r will give you a new row, and this will give a new row in a way, like that, here. This is for number node. This is here. If you do not write r, then this node number 3 also come in here, like those things will represent in the only one line. Okay, so ifprint fid, I call the number of nodes, and I want to show it, that's why I call it. And after calling it, when you mention this identity, this will represent there, and percent g mean it depends on the uh, how much digit you want to show. I give in here this information, you will got in here. There percent z something percent z, the more compact of percent e and percent f defined, and there is some technical term of MATLAB. And a print, and similarly I defined all other thing in here. Okay, and this is the printers model. Similarly okay, maybe I define in here printers result. So which thing I want. Mainly I want member action force. So I trust I give in here. So I give the force from the force vector. Maybe I didn't define the force vector in here, and there is force vector. This is form and this is global force vector, and this will work like that loop in the loop. And this is kk matrix. Kk matrix means uh, it it will combine, it is a global stiffness matrix, it will combine uh, geometrics and other matrix in one file. So so I define this matrix in here, tension or compression, it depends on the result. In this way you can find the trust result. So if you need the code of the trust, please give me an email. You can also edit this by putting the number in here, only putting it you will get all the answer. Just you have to mention this thing. I will show you this thing, how can you edit this in the next tutorial. Thank you for watching my video, and if you like my video, please subscribe it.